this video I'm going to be doing a review 1 year on of my giant TCR Advanced 1, which I bought in the middle of lockdown last year because it was becoming clear I wasn't going on holiday, so I had a wee bit extra spending money that I could use that would normally be spent in Spain. So I bought a new bike last year. It's done a fair few thousand miles since then, considering we weren't allowed to go anywhere or do anything except our cycle a day for months on end. But it's been a cracking bike and I just want to do a quick review of how it's been. So this is my giant TCR that I bought in May 2020 and I'm so glad I did. The colour caught my eye. I wasn't particularly planning on a new bike at the time, but the colour and just some of the features of the bike just made me make this impulse buy, and I'm glad I did because, as you know now, it's virtually impossible to get a bike given the state of the market and state of the world just now. So I'm glad I bought it when I did, because I've enjoyed it, and B, I might not have got a new bike. I did actually buy it to replace my old TCR, which was bought in 2012. It came with full Ultegra back then. It was a 10-speed, and it has been, that bike has been fantastic. Tens of thousands of miles in that bike. Really loved it. Done all sorts of adventures on it. But I just fancied something new, and I wanted something with discs. This one's doing a good job now, as you can see on the Wahoo kicker and my Zwift setup, so that's why there's cables going everywhere out of it. But I knew that this bike would fit, having cycled this one for 8 years, so this was perfect. It came with full Ultegra. Now this bike was £2,200 sterling, and it was very difficult to see any other bike on the market coming with Ultegra at that price point, and I knew the frame would be superb, so I just thought that was too good a deal to miss. I have added some carbon pedals to it. I think these are the 105, yeah, but you know the difference between the 105 and the Ultegra carbon pedals is a few grams at most, but a lot of pounds. So these have been cracking, absolutely superb, really liked them. Put on my carbon bottle cages just to keep the weight down, because this is the fast weight weenie machine. They come off the old bike as well, so they've done a good job. Now the biggest change I did make was I changed the wheels straight away. I had Mavic Cerium Elites on my previous one, so I went like for like, and I got these Mavic Cerium Elites last year, tubeless ready, from I think it was Sigma Sports I got them from. The bike, by the way, was from Pedal Power in West Calder, and I can't fault them on their customer service, just superb. So yeah, I changed the wheels out for the Mavic Cerium Elites, and they are fantastic. Noisy when freewheeling, but you don't notice it when you're sat on it, and they are just superb. And if I just come round the side here, I put on Shimano's Ice Tech rotors. They're centre lock, and I'll just show you the front one as well. There you go. And they just look cool as well as dissipating heat, but they've been working superbly well. Now, one of the reasons I'm glad I have done this, at first I thought there's not too much wrong with the wheels that came. However, you might have heard this story already. I did about a week's cycling on the wheels that came with the bike, and here's the rear wheel that came with the bike. They are giant PR2s. Giant build their own wheels in-house, and that's generally what you get. Now, I've yet to be sold on the quality of these, and I'll explain why I'm glad I changed a lot. So I cycled for about a week on these before my new wheels came, and if you check out other videos later on in the year, I bought a Contend AR1. There's other 2 videos in it actually, and they come with big chunky tyres, 32mm things, So I thought I would use these other set for when I'm doing a more of a road ride on my Contend. Now I've had these on the Contend now for maybe 2 months. So we're talking max 500 kilometres, and I was getting heavy creaking sound eventually. I changed the bottom bracket in the bike and everything, thinking the creak was that. So it turns out it was the wheel. The hub and bearings are worn and there's significant play in there, which is not great for max 500-600 kilometres. My dad can usually change these bearings, but when he took them out as well, he said it's a very complicated system and it requires specialist tools and about 5 of them. So this is a bike shop repair, if anything. So a bit disappointing. I know Giant took their wheel building in-house a few years ago, but I've yet to be impressed by any of their wheels. This set here starting to creak and a bit of play. My Giant cyclocross bike is Giant wheels, and there's significant play at the back, although that does take a lot more of a beating in type of riding that does. But yeah, that would be my one thing, so good decision to buy my own wheels to put on the bike as a replacement. Just making it like for like, as I say, like the other bike that had Mavic Cerium Elites on it. So, Mavic Cerium Elites against. So that would be the only downside, I suppose, but it's not been a problem, and I think it's the kind of thing most people just fit their own wheels anyway. The other thing I've fitted, a Pro Logo scratch seat saddle. I'm a fan of them. I had an older version, as you can see, on my older bike, so I just went with one of them again, and it's nice and comfortable. I do enjoy, I do like the Pro Logo kit. Always looks quite cool as well. So I actually got the best deal I got for that was off Amazon. And this bike, I have my Wahoo element bolt on, and the wee arrow out front mount is just cracking looking. Can't fault the Ultegra. I mean, that's a year I've had the bike. It went away after a last century ride about October time. It got cleaned and put away for the winter. Brought it back out in the last month or two, and I have not had to touch the shifting at all. I've not had to alter anything. It is still changing fantastic. Really am impressed with that. The other thing I've changed for this year is I had the stock tyres that came with the wheels. I have put on some Continentals, tubeless of course, Continental GP 5000s, and they are running lovely on the bike. So all in all, really pleased with this bike, so glad I bought it. And if you are looking for a road bike that can race or munch up the miles fairly comfortably for what is a compact racer, so there you go. If you are looking for a bike that will race and do multiple jobs as well as munching out the miles, so say I've done 4 or 5 century rides on this bike now, and it's very comfortable for a bike that's, I mean, TCR, Total Compact Racer, so it is designed for racing, but it is comfortable at munching out the miles, and it is fast. It's as fast a bike as I have ever owned. And really glad I bought it. So if you're thinking about a Giant TCR for any of those reasons, I would recommend. So there you go.